Good morning, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, and welcome back to this week's Weekly Energy Boost. My name is Elisheva, and today Eitan and I are discussing perhaps one of the lesser emphasized ideas in this month of Virgo, which is connecting and utilizing your team, your circle, your environment as a vehicle for the work we've been talking about in the past 2 weeks. Who is on your team? Who do you count as your cheerleaders, your coaches, your guides, your supporters, and how to make that team a valued part of your growth process, specifically in this month and in this week. But obviously, as always, those ideas and those practices lend themselves to the spiritual journey all year long. Weekly Energy Boost is a 7-day spiritual weather forecast where we provide our listeners with the most practical and powerful tools to navigate the coming 7 days. We do that by gleaning through the teachings of Kabbalah and extracting the tools and wisdom that are not only going to serve you this week with the unique opportunities that this week provides, but we offer up wisdom and tools in every episode that you can use any week of the year, any year of your life. And what's interesting about the timing this week is that it's the last full week of the year. The Kabbalistic calendar restarts, or humanity's timeline restarts a week from this Friday night. So we're really winding down and trying to grab all of the remaining sparks that are left for us to reveal in this year. And part of that, we focused on our connection to the light of the Creator and our soul. We focused on recovering the light that we may have left in the moments this past year where we weren't fully present, where we weren't fully conscious or operating from our highest self. And now we're going to focus on using the present, the current moments of this week, paying attention and being alert for the gifts and opportunities that are waiting for us to recover more sparks in these moments. So, Eitan, where should we begin?
As we're approaching in less than 2 weeks Rosh Hashanah, the whole goal is what we call Kabbalistically transforming judgment into mercy. And this is the time that all of us are exposed. Our positive energies that we carry from the past year, our negative energy. So judgment is basically every area that we carry reactive or selfish behavior, it's energy of judgment. In regards to this weekly portion, which is Nitzavim, it says that in the place of unity, judgment becomes concealed. Whenever there's a real togetherness between a group of people, starting with at least 3, and then 10, it's powerful. When there's real unity and real love, even though each one of the 10 or each one of the group has its own negativity that usually would attract judgment for the coming year, negativity is becoming concealed. Of course, each one of us wants to work on ourselves personally, but we will never cleanse everything. So one of the most powerful tool, and actually it's not just before Rosh Hashanah, it's about tool for life to nullify negativity, to bypass these laws of cause and effect that every little negativity I have, I will suffer the consequence, is actually through the power of togetherness. And the basic understanding is we all came from one soul. And in this world, we all fragmented to different souls. When we're making the effort to truly create energy of love energy of acceptance, energies of togetherness, and vulnerable energy between group of people that sharing similar purpose in life, that group energy can help us to elevate and access our potential so much beyond if I'll just meditate all day long and try to be mindful all day long and cry and beg to cleanse every negativity. We meant to reunify with other soul in this world. When it says the whole purpose of the Torah is love thy neighbor as yourself, the rest is commentary, means it's not just giving to strangers. The idea of building true friendship, care, love between team of people. So, and we need to break it down. What does it mean practically? What does it mean practical? Because each one of us have our own test / a tikkun, spiritual lesson to learn around opening myself to connect with a team of people. And think about it as you're approaching Rosh Hashanah. The goal is to transform my consciousness to create the most amazing year and to transform the consciousness of the world. But if I'm here just to transform my consciousness and I'm not coming with a team of people physically or in my mind and in my heart, I'm limited how much light and blessing and download of my new potential it's possible. So I'll give different examples and maybe Elisheva, you as well. What does it mean to work on strengthening the energy of a team? And even ask yourself, number one question, who is my close team I want to become more bonded and connected as I'm approaching Rosh Hashanah, that I want to carry with me in my heart, that their pain I want to carry with me, their joy I want to carry with me. Beside my spouse or one best friend, are there more people I actually can? And if not, let me do the work. I have still time before Rosh Hashanah. During these days, pay attention. The universe, the light, people giving us hints where they need help. Are there some people from your team needs your energy, your care, your support? Pay attention to what happened today, to what happened yesterday. Don't just be kind and nice. Shift from that part of my team. Mutually, our life depends on that. It's actually sometime, especially in these days, instead of worrying about what I need to change, how can I be there for someone else? Even though it's a busy time. So that's one tool, how to bond, how to connect, how to come as energy of a team. Elisheva, what's the next one?
I think, especially for people who are on a spiritual journey, we're probably to some degree focused on how we're showing up for other people, being a good friend. We might volunteer or mentor or put ourselves in some capacity of service to others. What I always think about in this time, that's not necessarily the easiest perspective to hold, and I think it's related to what you're sharing, is how many people do I let, or who do I let support me? Who do I allow to be there for me? And who am I willing to be seen by? And it's a big deal for a lot of people, I think, especially these days where, public image is, even if it's not public like millions of people, but appearances are very important to people. I had a conversation with someone who needed to go to a wedding where they were going to see a lot of old friends and family, and they were so preoccupied with being judged and what people are going to see and what they're going to think. And how many people do we really let in and see who we truly are, imperfections and all? And the energy of this month, right? It's not a coincidence that all of these opportunities to reflect and identify and do this deep work fall in the month of Virgo. It's absolutely on purpose, because in the month of Virgo, we have this heightened ability, and we spoke about it a few weeks ago, to see what's wrong with ourselves, with other people. And there's always going to be that tendency to criticize or to judge the people who could help us the most. So one of the exercises I do for myself in this time, and it's to look at the people that I have more trouble letting in or more trouble receiving, not because they've hurt me or there's no affinity between us. Within even my circle of friends, I have people that I love to get criticism and feedback from, and I have people that I love it less. And really leaning into being curious about why I'm resistant, or why it's a greater pain point for me. Usually, when someone comes and gives you, even when it's your spouse, let's say, or someone that loves you completely and totally, there's still a sting. There's still an initial kind of defense, or you want to protect yourself or justify or explain. It's normal and it's natural. There's some people that it's going to be easier to let that stuff in with. So we're not only talking about the people that it's easiest for you, although that's important as well in this journey. It's also about looking at the people who maybe what they think about you is important to you, and you kind of shield yourself from it. You'd rather not know, or you don't want to take the risk in hearing the truth. This is the time where all of that feedback becomes so valuable. So I think more or less what I'm trying to say is be willing to hear from even the people that it's more sensitive or delicate, or you're not as excited to bring them into your process this month, because it's so hard to see the work when you're on the inside. And you might not realize the things that you do that affect others. And one example that always comes up this time of year, is I'm so busy focused on my spiritual work that I can't be there for others. I can't be present. I have to, yesterday somebody canceled they were supposed to come to something, and they said, it's too much going on at home. I can't show up in the way that I had committed to previously. And I think that the preoccupation with your spiritual growth and work and studies can often look like a good justification for not being able to be there for other people, not being able to show up and share, not being able to go the extra mile in the way that maybe you thought you would be able to a month ago when you committed. So the real idea here is that being there for others is part of the spiritual work, right? I think if we're honest, all of us love reading a book by ourselves, listening to something on our own, journaling, but all of that practice, at least from the Kabbalistic point of view, is meant to make us better versions of ourselves when we show up in the world. It's not that the goal isn't the journaling. The journaling is a means to showing up as a better version of myself the next time I interact with other people, whether it's the people closest to me or people on the subway. It doesn't matter, because every one of those opportunities is an opportunity to reveal light. So the two things I think to keep in mind are, am I allowing my own self-development to isolate me? And where can I loosen up on that? It's a worthy cause. We're not saying don't be self-reflective, but make sure that your own reflection process isn't distancing you from people. And two, who can you be open and more vulnerable to as a step in this journey of self-reflection?
Beautiful. So again, just to make sure, the idea when we're saying come together, the idea is to expose yourself and to be vulnerable, not just to any stranger out there. The people that in your heart and soul feels that belong to my team. In this stage in your life, the team of together growing, the team of together elevating, the team of with soul friendship together. So of course, we're here to act with human dignity towards every human being in the world. But when it's saying get closer to your team, it means the team of the soul that you feel in your gut and in your heart, it's meaningful. So another point, another essential point. So sometimes it's easy to do things alone, to do a project alone. Rav Ashlag, the founder of the vision of the Kabbalah Center, in one of his letters told his students, when I'm giving you assignment or a project, in that particular case, to print some of the books of Kabbalah or to spread the word of Kabbalah, make sure to do it together. Because especially with people who sharing a vision about life, it's harder to be unified. And it required the process of let go of judgment, accepting of each other, and mutual compromises. That mutual compromises are the only way I can really go beyond what we call Kabbalistically to the desire for oneself alone. Because if it's just me in the light, yeah, of course, I need to change, you're right. But the fact that in order to continue work as a team with someone, and with a stranger, you might have beautiful acceptance to them. But especially the people from your team require more of an effort in order to work together, to let go of control, to accept. And sometimes the other person needs to let go of control. So that coming together, ask yourself another question. What can I do this day together with someone, some good work? Not just by myself, as a team. Two people doing something together, three people, group of people doing something together, and all of them making an effort to have energy of togetherness, even though the ego will try to interrupt, but making an effort, it's so much more powerful that a person does it alone. It seemed much easier for a person just to run his own company, to disregard anybody else, to run his own spiritual organization, disregard everybody else, one vision, one intention, I'm running the show, I'm controlling, so much faster. Kabbalistically, if you don't have the interaction and the tikkun and getting closer of a team, the right team, not any team. Part of life is choosing the right team. Without that, the long-term results will be limited.
I think you shared with me once that in the writings of Rav Ashlag, he also says, without criticism, there's no progress.
Absolutely.
So it goes back to the same
Part of
idea.
togetherness being open, because a lot of us, I would like to work together, but I don't want to have friction. I don't want somebody to restrict me from doing what I really want to do. Think about in your own life. Something is, I have an idea, now I'm going to have a meeting, approval, yes, no. I feel restricted instead of, I'm open for the energy of togetherness. Let me hear. Doesn't mean I'm going to listen. Let trust that process of friction, and eventually the togetherness will be decided. The ego tells me I have to control. I have to do things. Coming together, it's such an essential thing in every aspect of our life, and especially before Rosh Hashanah. So we need to ask yourself the question, how can I get more into the together energy? You know what? Maybe I should have lunch with that person. Maybe we should open up. There's a little bit something, there's a little space here. Let me remove the space. I want to get to come together. I want to carry I want to carry the person with me.
When you say space, Eitan, what do you mean?
Space can be, we didn't speak for a while. There's a little cold energy. There's a little potential judgment. There's a little assumption. I just don't feel them. They're not in my head. They're not in my mind. I'm not really concerned about them. And nothing bad, but just they're out of my mind. And I would love to invite that energy into, yeah, but I'm too busy. There's so many things I have to take care of. That's part of the illusion. The energy of true closeness create magic and allows exponential efficiency beyond what we think. Because alone is without the light, togetherness is with the light.
And I think there's another dimension that's worth discussing that's connected to this idea that the Kabbalists talk about of the collective and the individual. We've spoken about it before when it comes to, right, that my contribution to the world matters, right? If I'm going to reveal light in my little corner of the world, the ego wants us to believe it doesn't make a difference, and the Kabbalists say no. The every action is like a sesame seed, either a light sesame seed or a dark sesame seed. So if you have 1,000,000 sesame seeds on the dark side and 999 on the other of light sesame seeds, your action, right? Like every sesame seed matters. It doesn't matter if it's the first or the millionth, it matters. In this time of year that we're about to enter, where there is this energy of judgment, this energy of assessment. It's like tax season, but for energy, right? Everything is being examined. Your team matters even most because the Kabbalists teach we're collectively judged. We're not judged as individuals. And that's one of the reasons that you read in the books of the Kabbalists, they would travel for weeks to be with a group of higher-minded individuals to make sure that they're not on their own. They're not in their home in that by themselves, isolated in that time of judgment, that they're part of a group who is striving toward being a force of good, making a difference, bringing light to the world. What can we do with that teaching in this week?
I think even we know in a place of love, any negative decree is removed. Even look at the opportunity to sacrifice your comfort for someone's needs. Just open the door for that. Where do I need to go outside of my comfort zone to my team members? Even though it's not according to my plan, because that real love is energy of oneness. That I would do something for someone as if it's me, which means sacrifice. Because my natural tendency is just, I'll do within my comfortability. So that opportunity to truly be there with conversations, with help, with support, with care, with guidance, beyond my comfort, some level of sacrifice, it's a major connection that nullify negativity and judgment. Actually, energy of judgment is energy of separation. Energy of mercy that conceal judgment is energy of togetherness. In a real place of love, judgment are removed.
It's so important. And I love the way that you said it. It's like when you have those thoughts in your mind of, oh, not them, or, you have this resistance, pay attention to that, because there's probably an opportunity to grow closer, to let go of grudges, to release old stories. It's the perfect time for that. And I want to give everyone an additional assignment to share this episode with your team. Even with people that you want to invite to be a part of that process. So sending this episode, you can use it literally as an invitation. If you're listening to this and someone sent it to you, it's because they want to bring you into this process with them. And even if you know what Kabbalah is or you're on a spiritual journey, it doesn't matter. This is the week to do the work hand in hand with your people. So take it as a sign. It's a message from me. It's a message from who sent you. You're needed on this team, and hopefully this sparks a conversation and a connection that develops into real growth and transformation, not only for you as individuals, but for the entire world. Weekly Energy Boost is available on all podcast platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. You can follow us on those platforms to receive more support during the week, more content to help you live what we talk about in every episode. You can also go to weeklyenergyboost.com, where you can search through our archives, send us a message, and click the donate button to help make Weekly Energy Boost possible. But as always, sharing the wisdom is really what turns the light on. And we'll see you next week on Weekly Energy Boost.
Thank you.